implemented.
Everyone is talking about Guyana's development, our position on the international stage, and so on, which is good, commendable as a state. But with these things come new and emerging threats for domestic and border security, and also organized crime. What are the priority areas for resource acquisition to address these issues?
So a lot of that lies with the our acquisitions in the defense side that I'm not at liberty to discuss. I am a member as a result of the position of being the Minister of Home Affairs of the Defense Board. And I can say to our citizens that great attention and detail is being paid to how we build out our and acquire assets as it relates to bolstering our border security and the security of our citizens. And it is being done not with great intelligence in terms of intelligence gathering, understand what our vulnerabilities are. And of course, a lot of our vulnerabilities is with the border, the fact that our borders are large and open, and building continue to build partnerships internationally as well.
What is your legislative agenda as Minister of Home Affairs? What can we see you take into the Parliament over these 5 years to strengthen security, domestic security?
Yes. Well, that is a task that I've already started to, I've already embarked on, because while we have gone a far way in terms of our legislative agenda over the past 5 years, there's still some gaps in terms of our traffic. As you start to flesh out the legislation, you see where things can be tightened, and the traffic laws are actually more the regulations than the laws. You're going to see some amendments coming there to make room for tougher enforcement, to make room for the accountability. While the laws are there, I believe that sometimes the fines have become too not consequential enough. The consequences are not consequential enough. So we're looking at the system where your driver's license, they can have a suspension after a few, 1, 2, or 3 infractions. We're looking at having heftier fines for all across the board. Driving behind a vehicle that has an emergency vehicle that has siren, and some people, they like to tuck in. Those has proven to be extremely dangerous. We're going to levy fines for those. We are also pushing an agenda where we have an across the board tint, having so many people looking for tint waivers. We found that there is no correlation between having a tinted car and crime. And in fact, we found that tint is healthy because of the UV rays. And so we keep that across the board. One recommended standard of tint for private vehicles, and then the security and diplomatic vehicles are going to have a different level. And then we enforce that. We enforce that level. So we're also looking at what's going to be governors on. We've already acquired, but the legislation has to now be amended to make room for this. Is the governors on the speeding trucks and buses, so that it's attached to the vehicle, and that monitoring system where they can go above a certain speed to eliminate this issue of speeding that we have on the road. So it's a long list of different, and that is just for traffic. And there's going to be other issues in terms of juvenile justice, the reform of the prison system, where it's less a penal system and a more a system where it's rehabilitative, where our young people, when they come out of the prison system, the law allows for them to be fully integrated with an integration mechanism that is provided for in the law. And so these are some of the priority areas that we are looking at, so that we continue to build safe communities. Because when our prisoners, the inmates, come out of prison, we want them to still be productive, because they're usually still young, still be productive and become productive members of society.